There we go. That's what it was. There was a little film on my camera. Isn't it a lot clearer right now?
Oh. Yeah. You
Okay,
cleaned it off?
See the little.
Usually we say we're live. Like
Right. I didn't let us know that we were here.
no.
But we are. We're just settling on in.
Oh, let me share. Let me go share.
Oh, am I supposed to share too? Yes, I am. Oh, no, it's going live to my page anyway. So.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see us, and I see me cleaning off my camera.
Welcome. We're getting settled in. Whoever that is that just joined us. For some reason, on our streaming platform, we can't tell who's actually watching. We only know you're here if you comment and say hi. So,
Right.
just so you know, some people may come in and they're like, "Oh, they didn't even say hi." We don't even know. We don't know who's. Wait, can we? Oh, can I? Let me see. No, we can tell where they're coming from though. This one on my page. Okay. So we're just waiting for everyone to get in, for more folks to get in. We got a minute before we start officially this evening on a very special day. Very special day. I guess the girls are sharing. You guys sharing it?
Yeah, I just
looking
shared.
really serious.
Because I feel like I was about to do something else, but I forgot that quick. So, oh, that's what I was gonna see. That's what I was gonna do.
Okay, we're just getting set up. What are you doing?
See, I can see who joins from the page.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, from your page.
No, from the
Cocoon.
page.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Welcome.
Hey.
Silver Cocoon podcast on, what is this, May?
Yes.
May 27th.
May 27th.
Thank you for the like.
Yes, thank
you for joining us.
Thank you for coming in on this special episode. We're about to get started.
Oh. And we're back with another episode. Welcome to the Silver Cocoon podcast.
The Silver
Welcome.
Yes.
Hey.
Ow.
Hey.
I'm your host, Ife.
I'm Kaya.
And I'm Maya.
Welcome back after a longer break than we thought we were going to take in between episodes, but we had to do what we had to do. So we are here today on May 27th, which also happens to be our my brother, their uncle's birthday. And yeah. So he's transitioned in 2017. In September of 2017, was a bona fide creative, did all of the things: a musician, a composer, a producer, an actor, a screenwriter. What else? And played the guitar, played a few different instruments, but played the guitar.
Creating an app as well, right? He was in the process of creating an app.
Yeah. And on my post, I said he just had unbending intent. Like, he was devoted to whichever angle in terms of where his craft or his creativity would take him. He had unbending intent in that. He would be up to 2, 3, 4, 5. The sun would come up. While he was producing something or writing something. It was really his breath. He did a lot of other things too, but the arts was his thing. So today we're going to honor him, honor his life, honor his gifts, honor the legacy that has been left behind, and also talk about, we are creatives too, which we don't talk about that too much.
We don't.
Right. And there's some very unique things about the life of a creative, about the creative process, about the just what one goes through to birth a piece into, this realm and what that looks like. Our auntie has come through.
Hey, James.
Hi,
Aunt
Auntie James.
family that may be showing up today in honor of Robert, and Aunt Jamesetta is my mother's twin. So that's my twin. That's my twin auntie.
20.
Right. We love you. Thank you for showing up.
But yeah, uncles, a large part of our uncle's legacy and life was music. Music and artistry in all aspects. Like he didn't just sing, like he built the song from the ground up. And he was so young. Like he started actually producing and making albums at 17?
It was 17, 18 out of a studio for other artists. This is when he went away to college in New York, and was a full-time producer. I remember one time we went up to see him, and we were in the studio, and he was playing us one of his songs, and I'm like, this sounds amazing. This is perfect. He was like, no, I need to do a couple more things to it. And I was just like, I didn't understand, because it sounded like it could hit the streets and go platinum like today. And he did something, and it sounded like a completely different song. I was like, that's only the ear of a musician could pick up the little nuances that were necessary. The people who have a talent, have a skill for that, that us, the normally they're just not gonna hear it. So I was like, oh, this is great. He's like, not quite, it's not ready yet.
And that's the beautiful thing about artistry. I feel like every avenue of art is a different language. Like a painter can like see something and then do something, and then to regular eyes we're like, no, it's fine, and then they do something and it's do. Or like musicians or writers, like like there's so much that comes into it, and a lot of that is just how they are. But yeah, uncle,
that in
we're gonna get into that.
Those experiences of mine, and then observing artists in different mediums say their piece isn't done, and then it's something to behold. It is something to behold. But yeah, so
Kelly said, "What's up, fam?"
Hey,
Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Godmom.
Yes. Okay, so that's where, because we're having a problem getting everybody's comments on this.
But it's because the ones on the Silver Cocoon page
on this stream. Okay, so now we know if you log in to watch us. I think that may be the case from YouTube too. I need to check into some technical stuff and see why comments may not show up if you're watching from YouTube, or if you're watching from the actual Silver Cocoon page. We got to figure out why that is, because everything should be showing up. But we figured out a little tweak. Kaya's watching from the Silver Cocoon page, so she can see the comments there. We haven't,
so we're not missing anything, leaving anybody out.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about this episode, y'all, because I feel like creatives and the creative process.
Yes, keep going, Maya.
Okay. Like just for
let's talk about how Uncle's life has impacted us, right?
Yeah. From a creative lens, or just altogether?
Creative, because I thought earlier I was like, "Whew, all right, we gotta move all of this that we feel today into
for Uncle." Yeah, just to obviously for dedicating a whole episode to him on his birthday, that should say enough about, not enough, but something to the big impact that he has had on our lives, even outside of his creativity. He just also happened to be a creative genius.
Absolutely.
In a lot of aspects. Personally, for me, you take it for granted, I guess, when you're growing up with an uncle that just makes amazing music and has these albums, and you're just listening to them, and he would be so surprised because we were like 10, knowing all the words to his songs, and he was like, and now I see like that probably really touched him, to like hear us singing the words to every single song, and he's like, oh, I didn't know. There's one song he didn't like us to listen to because it was a little rated, but
what song was that?
I see laying you down, rubbing your back, baby. The one that started playing at his funeral too, and they had to change it, and that's the year's favorite. But So
The racy one.
the racing.
That's the one that they like to listen to.
That's not my favorite, but it is. But yeah, so that was one piece. But just seeing, I don't think it really the creative impact, the impact of his creativity. Well, that one time he brought us to New York. We were visiting New York, and he brought me and Kaya in the booth and had us like record something for his song, and like we sang a line and then we said something and then he put it on a CD, and it just made us feel really special.
Yeah.
And he always like told us that we could do whatever we wanted to do, and if we showed him like a song, because he was like, oh, this is amazing, like this is so great, like you're so talented. And he just affirmed us, and he would make songs with us as well, like the pie song. And so he just like really inspired us to be creative and to just be in that creative flow. But more importantly, my last part is when he passed away, I was just listening to his music and I'm like, wow, how beautiful is this, that he spent time and effort and poured his passion into making these projects that lived on after he passed away, that his loved ones can just listen to in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to look at pictures of somebody, but to have full compilations that are like literally physical evidence of their love and of their, dedication and their passion and their thoughts and their feelings. And, that was just beautiful. And it inspired me to do the same at some point, to leave behind things that outlast my life.
I wanted to say too, when you said that he was always encouraging and telling
Yeah.
you guys are doing good. Well, you could take it seriously if he said that. Like he wasn't just
Right,
gassing you
right.
because
We didn't know. We didn't know.
that he wasn't just gassing. He wouldn't just tell you that. He would encourage you, of course. He wouldn't try to tell you trash if it was. However, if he was giving glowing compliments, then you knew that it was good, because he had the ear and eye for a lot of things. So you could take that, you could take that as genuine compliments and praise.
See, now I think about that, because I just thought he was just being supportive. So now I'm like, oh, he actually did, like he meant it too. That was enough for me. Kids don't know.
You're doing wonderful.
Yeah.
You're really good at this. You could do this professionally. Okay. Like, yeah.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie Samantha.
Okay, so what about you, Kai?
You can go next.
Okay. So, wow. The impact that my brother had on me as an artist. We started our creative journey. Well, of course, I watched him, in the plays and with the music and, all of the things growing up. And then we started to collaborate together. Of course, everyone knows he was a beast on the guitar, and haven't done it in a while, but I still do, performance poetry, spoken word. And we started to perform together, stages here and there. And I have not found to date anyone that I can perform with and it be effortless and just magical and perfect. We didn't even have to rehearse.
Yeah.
The chemistry was off the chain. We never really had to rehearse. He would either, I'd say, here, you start on this one. He would start with a chord and I would just come in with, the spoken word, or I would start and he would follow. And it was pure. The presence of the creative energy was just off the charts. And then we did some studio recordings. We've been in some stage plays together and have, created some commissioned work for weddings and things like that. So we were always vibing in that way and just effortlessly, like it came together. Of course, he's my brother. So, and me being his sister, we just knew each other very well in those spaces. And so it was just absolutely effortless. So I have to admit, like after he transitioned, I couldn't listen to his music. I don't think I listened to his music for probably a year and a half, maybe.
Wow.
And then even then I could listen for just a little bit. you know, it was difficult.
Why was that? Why do you feel like that was?
Um,
I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory because I couldn't listen to his music either. I feel like
No, I'm saying, like, did it just?
it was
I
too
don't know.
it was too
well, I feel like that was, you know, I think I mentioned this in different settings, how I was angry at his passing. So we didn't get tissue. Why did we not bring tissue?
Aw.
So listening to his music was like a slap in the face.
Mm. Mm.
And I just didn't want to be here to enjoy something that I also feel got cut short for him.
Mm. Mm.
So, yeah. Kira's in the house. Hey, sis.
Wendy, Jay, all the family are with us.
Yeah, Wendy.
That I was angry because I was. And I can't say that I'm not now. And as much as my spiritual system holds me in concepts of life after and ancestors and things of that nature, I don't care. That was still my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. So it doesn't lessen the blow in me, even to this day. So
Have you like, now, just curious, like, listening to you guys' music and what you guys recorded, does that give you like a sense of closeness to him, or is it more of that, like, it might be too much right now still?
no, there's, to be honest, I don't need anything given or taken away won't make me feel closer. Like I always feel close to him.
Okay.
So, but there's some pieces that we have created together. When I listen to those, I'm like, this is hot. Like we made some classic stuff. Yes, he was my baby boy. That's what my aunt is saying.
You guys had a 10-year age difference, right?
10-year age difference, right? You know,
you would have been 39 today.
Yes, 39. Why are you telling my age though? Like, why?
Oh.
It didn't matter. It's okay. I'm not ashamed, honey. I am not.
You shouldn't be. Look at you. Like, I will be saying that every day. By the way, did you know? I would be in the store like, by the way, did you know?
I'm about to be 50.
Yeah, I don't look like it, do I?
Are you not gonna card me? Like.
So yeah, you know, he was outside of the music, of course. If you can tell, the fact that we created together in any opportunity we get, shared the stage together in music and in theater. That was my dog right there. That was my dog. So yeah. So now, whenever I am creating and also reclaiming my space on the stage that I've been missing so much, and acting, I do see it as it's important or there is more encouragement or inspiration to move with that energy because of you know, what I share with my brother too. So there's some meaning, there's some significance there as well. And what about you guys going forward with what you're working on?
Kaya?
Well, I would say he inspired me while he was here by, of course, I feel like you just said, you know, we got the same experience. So that's why I'm just like, might just be saying, maybe I need to start speaking first. Because
yes.
And I'm just like, yeah.
No more notes.
Yeah, the same feelings. But you know, of course, with me making music, I'm not really gonna consider myself an artist yet, but
You're creative.
I'm a creative. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really mind like, what? Why not?
I know.
But because I don't feel like I'm not going to.
What do you mean? Artist, what's the distinction for you?
I guess the amount of effort and like consistency.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have that yet, so I wouldn't.
You see it more as like your singing is like an every now and again hobby, as opposed to something not even a hobby.
No. Yeah, I would like it to be like, I would like to consider myself an artist, but I just don't feel like I'm there yet. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think it's just want to get it.
Yeah. So with Uncle, I mean, I guess as a child, I didn't think that it was me singing or anything was going to be even anything that I was going to care to do. Or
you didn't?
No, not as a child. Even singing the songs with him, it was just like, oh, we're just having fun with our uncle. Like, it was just me and Maya making the music. Even when me and Maya were making music, like it was.
That's how all the famous people start off. They're like, yeah, I was writing songs since I was 5.
Like that back then. It was just something we was just doing for fun. I didn't think it was actually anything I was gonna take serious. But thinking, when I think back to it now, I'm like, oh, I feel like that is special too, that Uncle was just such a talented artist and had an amazing voice. So that makes me want to, that's definitely a huge inspiration. I would say more so after he passed, what that would be for me. But yeah, I still can't really get myself to listen to his music.
Yeah. I have a playlist, a few playlists. I actually have the library of the tracks that he's produced. I can listen to the tracks he's produced. It's more difficult to listen to him singing. His voice.
Yeah. And I wish that I could, because I want to, like, maybe that'll, I haven't tried in a while, but I think I tried like twice and it just, I just couldn't. So, but I feel like maybe that'll push me or like inspire me.
Give you that emotional release, maybe.
Huh?
Like maybe it'll give you an emotional release, No,
you want not necessarily the clearing or cleansing, but you're looking for more the inspiration.
More the inspiration.
Well, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but have you listened to the stuff he's produced?
No, not the beats.
No, yeah, I'm gonna let you listen.
Yeah, you can write to his beats.
I remember like some back in the day,
but now,
but like not that I haven't listened to any recently. No, but maybe I can write a song to one of his beats.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he has plenty.
As a matter of fact, the last spoken word piece that I wrote was to Michelle is watching.
Adia's watching. Destiny. Hey, everybody.
Stopping mid-sentence, but Michelle, it was at her wedding. She commissioned a piece for her wedding. She called me up. She said, hey, I want you to do a spoken word piece. We met at a little cafe. I gathered some information about her and her soon-to-be husband. And then I called my brother up and I said, hey, would you like to work on this with me? And we got together in my living room, and I think we laid it out in about an hour.
Wait, this was my art teacher.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the name like, wait, hold on.
They're in the space. That's what's up.
That's so crazy. We're talking. I'm like, of course I didn't know your first name. So I'm like, then I see Maynard. I'm like, and I remember y'all performed at my art teacher's wedding.
Yes.
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to send you a friend request if that's okay.
Aww. Yeah, I remember.
Our teacher, St. Helena Island Elementary School.
Yes, we were in elementary, 5th grade and 2nd, right, Kaya? Or 1st? 5th?
Yeah, she was our 2nd, 3rd.
We were
4 years? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep it going.
Back to the story. We put together a piece, and so, of course, the first time they heard it was at the wedding, and it was called Forever. And that piece right there, many people have heard it and have requested it, and just it says all the things in love and commitment and Miss Maynard. Michelle says it was incredible. So thank you for giving us that opportunity too. That was beautiful.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, that's special.
I will say,
Them.
to answer that question of how it inspires, like now, I have like a different way that I listen to his music, I guess. It does make me cry a lot of the times, but it's so good. Like it's just so good. And like for me, because what happened was I didn't see his music, his YouTube videos. I found his YouTube videos and I never saw him play live. But watching him play live, like when you are young and you watch somebody do something, you're just like, oh, that's just what they do, whatever. But I'm watching him play live and he's sweating up there and he's just like, like he's just like really getting into it. And I'm like, oh, like he really loves this. Like I didn't know he was doing live perform. I didn't really get like, oh, my uncle's an artist.
Right.
Like you watch that and you're like, oh, like he was doing gigs, like he was performing in front of people. These songs that I was singing along, like other people. So for me, that like this is when I was trying to find out what I was passionate about in life, and I saw that and I was like, wow, I really want to be passionate about something in the way that he was passionate about music. Wow. I'd never seen that before. Yeah. And I was like, wow. So I listened to his music a lot because it's good, but also it just inspired. He used to sit us down, Kaya, do you remember? And like teach us how to make beats and how on the third thing, that's when something comes in, like, and how you layer a track. So maybe not a musician, but to have that and translate that and to be a master, to be a master and really being a creative is such a beautiful experience. Like it opens up so much life and so much just like anything, and how you can know about his life through his songs. Like I know how he felt about this situation. It's an emotional outlet and that's what I use it for. So just in that way, it was very inspirational and touching and a part of my life now.
And let me tell y'all a little something more about my brother. So he would come into studios just to record there, right? And would end up taking over as the engineer. They would call him back in to work with other artists. Wow. When we were in St. Louis and he came in, this is when we laid down an album of mine. And the engineer in the studio, my brother was like, well, hold up, took off his headphones. Let me go in. I think I need to, mess with something real quick. And the engineer just got up out the seat and was like, do you? When I say he was a genius at what he did, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Too, now when you mentioned how just like Uncle would be up late at night, I do realize that anytime that I've tried to write a song or just like had a moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I actually can write a song, it's always super late at night. Like everybody's sleeping and I'm up trying to write a song, but like that's when I'm the most in the zone. But now that I think about it, I'm like, maybe I got that from him. Yeah.
You guys are the night owls.
Yeah, definitely. It's also a part where you're accessing your subconscious a little bit more. It's been a while since you've interacted with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's usually where the moon is up. Like there's a lot of other things that happen at night that kind of heighten that creative.
Absolutely. I be cleaning late at night. I be productive late at night.
Kaya is up. like I'm like, girl. Yeah. Now because you work in the mornings, but if we didn't.
More discipline.
Yeah, only on the weekends. Late at night is when I get stuff done.
I just wanted to share one more thing about, specifically Uncle.
Yes.
On my end, about how his music really did live on. There was a moment today where I was riding in the car with Grandma, his mom, and we just went to the beach today and we released balloons for him and we laughed and she told me about her birth story and she was just talking about him, and every time I talk to her I hear a new story because like they had 31 years together. So we're just laughing at him, just whatever. And then so we're in the car and we're driving and we're maybe 3 minutes away from her house. And she's like, I'm talking about the last song that he sent because he created up until he passed away, obviously. But he texted us a song, like, was it 3 weeks before he passed away? It was like very soon before. And he was like, hey, what do you think about this? So I was telling her about it. I was like, yeah, that last song that he wrote. And she looked at me And she was like, what song? I was like, you didn't hear it? Like, I thought maybe at some point. Hi, Aunt Angie.
Hey, Angie's on YouTube.
Hi,
Aunt Wendy's on
Angie.
YouTube.
Everybody.
Thank you,
Yes,
fam.
thank you, family. We're so happy that you're here with us to talk about Uncle. And I'm going to tell Grandma she'll be very happy to know that, too.
Yes.
She's probably asleep right now, but we were in the car and I mentioned the song and she was like, I never heard it. And I was like, he never put it out, but it just didn't cross my mind that 8 years later, there's a song from her son that she's never heard before. So I was like, you know what? I'll play it for you. So I start playing it and just like the emotion that took over her when she heard the first strings, because he wasn't just a singer, like every part of that song.
Part laid down.
And the song was so, yeah, every single layer. And we laughed about that too. So she's, you know, because I totally, I'll get to that in a second. But as soon as like the chords started, I just saw like emotion take over her. And I was like, this is such a beautiful gift on his birthday 8 years later, for her to hear a whole new song of his. And it was the last song that he worked. And she asked me that after. She's like, that was the last song he worked on. I was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm so happy that I just heard that today and that it had been her first time hearing it. And she was just so, and I was like, yeah, you should hear, because on your laptop, you can hear when he has the tracks broken down. And so there's like a full track of him going, ah.
No, genius. Like he would add every single element, going from instrument to instrument, the little sounds, the everything.
Stacking vocals. I gotta show that to her so we could laugh at it. Yeah. But anyways, that was the
Hey Leonte.
Hey Leonte.
Solar, hey everybody.
Hey, thank you for pulling up to honor our uncle and the creative listen, hold up. There are a lot of creatives in the house right now. There are lots of creatives. Let me find out. All we had to do is say pull up creatives.
And that's crazy because we never talk about it, and that's so much a part.
Right.
There are a lot of creative folks in this house, visual artists, artists of the word, like, you know, artists of the stage and musicians. So thank you for showing up.
Before we continue or get into it, did you guys want to share what type of art we do, since we never talked about this? Like, what type of artist do you consider yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I talked a little bit about it, so I'll let you guys go first.
Kaya, you said you wanted to talk first.
Yeah.
But you know, we're not the same artist booth, so that situation wouldn't apply in this one.
Well, we got to start practicing and bringing down a couple of.
What?
What'd you say?
Oh, Grandma's here.
Hey, Grandma.
How long did it take you to press that? Love you.
Hey, Grandma.
I was gonna crack a joke. Like, you guys are all got on YouTube and found your way.
So my grandma's siblings, a lot of our my uncle's mom, a lot of his siblings or her siblings are here. So his aunts and uncles are all here together today. So we love that. We love you, Uncle. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Well, the type of creative I would consider myself is a musical creative, songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess I would say, because I like to create.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like design.
Yeah, I'm hearing you before you're saying it. Sorry, go ahead.
Design, decorative creations. As far as like DIY type of creations, or like decorative, or like making things, and songwriting.
So you're a visual artist too. You just use different mediums. Like, you like your stuff to be kind of 3D type of, like,
yeah.
Materials go into multi-material. What is it called?
Yeah.
Miss Maynard?
She's a builder. She builds things.
I did used to, back in middle school, I made a film or two.
That's right. Yes, you did.
I made a film or two in the essay, so I guess I could throw that in there. Oh, and I take pictures. I mean, hey, I actually do a lot.
So Kaya's a photographer. We're famous on Pinterest because of Kaya. We're famous on Pinterest because of Kaya.
Yes.
Okay, so let's run it on down. Let's list this out.
Okay.
Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Photographer.
Media artist.
Mm-hmm.
Photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And you directed. Did you write and direct that? You wrote because they had to
Do the script.
select your script to be even produced into. So you wrote and directed a short film.
Yep.
In middle school.
Yeah.
Now looky there.
Yeah.
Look at it now.
Look at. Okay. I don't even think my resume is that long. I'm like, oh snap.
I'll be forgetting.
Go ahead, Maya.
Is writing artist like creative? Yeah, I'm a creative. So I write, but I also paint. Like I paint. I write. I direct like photo shoots. The photo shoots, I kind of conceptualize them and I pick out I direct. What is that? A director of a photo shoot? Like, yeah.
Artistic director.
Artistic director. Yeah. I can kind of see how things will look and put them together. I think that's, I write poetry. I'm a poet. Like I write poetry. So.
Why do you get that face? You said writer. I was thinking poetry book. Writer.
Yeah,
but that's two different things, though.
It is different types of art.
It is coming from two.
And I feel like poetry is a little bit more of an art form than writing.
Abstract. It's definitely more abstract.
Because writing, you have to think. Poetry is more of that type that we talk about. That like, it's kind of letting it flow type of thing. So.
And both of you guys are really good in different ways. I think with interior design.
Yeah.
You guys pick up different pieces of that.
Yeah.
That I've noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's true. So what about you, Mama?
So on my short list, I am a writer, also a poet. You know, those are different forms of writing, as Maya was saying, and an actress. And I cannot leave out that there is an element of creativity in the spiritual arts too. So that as well. But
and you created babies. We both created people.
Yeah, which is
that is a form. That's art. Babies are people are art. People are art, definitely.
You know, we definitely are.
We're art.
Yeah. That's the ultimate form of like, not the ultimate, but it is one.
No, probably probably is the ultimate. There's an active and passive phase in that creating. So, okay, so we're going to segue. We do also want to give anyone an opportunity to share any memories that you have of Robert, our brother, our uncle, our nephew, our son, our, friends. Whatever your relationship was. If you want to type it in, we will read them here in honor of him. No matter where we are in the program, in the episode,
we'll pause, and we will share his, albums and YouTube videos, at the end. So for people that haven't listened to it, or if you haven't, didn't know where to find it, so you can.
Yes. The creative.
Thank you, Auntie Samantha.
Thank you, Auntie Samantha. Thank you, Auntie Jensen.
Okay, so we want to talk about the process and see how we have a bunch of creatives in here. Please chime in. We love to interact with our live audience. When you add to, we'll pop you up on the screen and sharing what this world is like for a creative, from feeling a thing, from having a concept. And I don't even know if it's an actual concept in the mind yet. It comes sometimes, for me, it comes as a feeling first, and then it becomes a concept, and then there's a process from conceptualizing to it becoming a real thing to show others. hold on for a real thing. He loved peach cobbler. Yes, he did.
And Ashana says, the beautiful spoken word and music for my wedding reception that you guys did.
Yes.
Was fire.
Yeah, we did that. So, so we're going to talk about just that process, what that looks like, and how it may differ between different mediums or styles, or expressions of art. Because when we were talking about this earlier, Maya, I was like, oh, I think it may be different in visual spoken word, definitely different from acting and spoken word for me, especially when you're writing. So we'll see.
Okay, yeah.
We have a memory coming in. I was 4 when I started hanging out with Ife. We used to pick him up from a mess.
And he was always a whole entire character.
And he was always a whole character. That's the elementary school he went to.
Oh.
And we would pick him up from a mess elementary.
Yeah, I can only imagine him as.
Wait, how old were y'all picking him up? 15, 16?
No, we weren't even 15, 16.
10, girl, 10 years, yeah, 14.
So what were you were driving?
No, a mess was like down the block.
Walking.
Oh,
that's why you're a different generation.
Okay. Because y'all was doing everything. I just had to clarify.
You're responsible.
He acted the heck out
of the Tin Man. Yes, he did. Yep. Yes, he did.
Story for that, he gave us the heart from the Tin Man. He did the Wizard of Oz in high school, and he gave us his heart at the end to his nieces. Yeah. So sweet. Yeah. So acting, so acting, I guess, is a perspective you can give Kaya and I today, because we don't.
Right.
If I were to act, it probably wouldn't be an art. It just would be like
for fun.
More like a mental, like just my mental instability would help me be a good actor. Not that it's an art.
No, for real, because you.
But when being honest, like
you can play a character.
We love that you are owning all things, because hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of folks that are managing themselves within the world of artistry. So ain't nothing wrong with it. But I think you're an actress too, though, Maya. Like, I really think you're very good and stay on the stage. So wait, remembering you and Kaya, I was teaching that program at the Arts Council, and we were going through, developing a spoken word piece into a multi, and you guys came and participated and got on stage.
A little bit.
No.
Vaguely.
I remember the pictures.
I was going to say I have some pictures from that.
I remember the pictures. But yeah, so your process, you said that it kind of is conceptualized as a feeling.
You're talking about acting or spoken word? They're very different.
Acting.
Well, I guess my question is, for acting, how is acting art? That's what I'm asking.
So it's really about the separation, the disassociating yourself and completely giving into
the character,
and not just your head,
your body,
but your feelings, your body, your life. We hear, actors talk about this all the time, that them moving about through their lives, that they've, taking on a role that they have to completely immerse themselves in. They don't step out of that role when they go home. They can't, because they can't be in and out, in and out, in and out. So they live in this being, adopting the psychology of this being, the habits, the mannerisms, like everything has to come through all of your body.
That makes sense.
And it can often be a displacement of the self, or what we think is the self, to embody that character on stage or in film or whatever. But it's also a very liberating, freeing experience too. I think sometimes you can you just gotta let go.
You confused?
No, I'm just saying it sounds like something else. Not really art, but I get it. I get it.
Another memory.
Auntie Sam says,
I remember at all our family get-togethers, we would ask Robert to sing. He kind of got tired of it after a while. I could imagine.
He was the entertainment at all of the gatherings. Okay, we know he's here.
He would be sitting there with his guitar.
Oh my gosh.
We have a comment about acting.
Wait, how did y'all know he got tired of it? Did you see it on his face? But that didn't stop nobody from asking and expecting him to still perform, though, right? Okay. Ashana says, acting always felt therapeutic for me, too. Yeah.
You kind of said that, too.
Kelly says he was always acting out characters, and then all of a sudden he was a grown man taking pics with no shirt and a guitar, and I was traumatized. So much talent and such a big heart. Right.
No, that's hilarious. So, okay, I see what you're saying with the acting and how that is a different
Yeah.
form of art, which is probably why it's
You're given, someone else writes the character.
you bring it to life. Okay, you're bringing something to life. So you are creating.
Exactly.
You have to bring the life. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it also it's art. It's almost like writing because it is art, but you do have to do some brain stuff.
Yeah. And I do remember one time I was struggling with a role, and I was only struggling because I hadn't fully committed myself to the fact that I was in this play and that I needed to just embody this character. I was kind of, I just hadn't fully committed. And then once I did, everything opened, completely flowed and opened up. But you do have to consciously give permission, to be in that space and experience it fully.
Interesting. So for my process in art, poetry is really interesting for me because I'll never ever sit down and like I'm gonna write poetry. Like I'll just be doing something and I hear like an idea, like I hear a thought that sounds kind of poetic, and so I start writing it, and then I don't stop until I have a whole poem. And it's a pretty quick process. It's usually like 15 minutes, but it'll just be like something that I feel inspired by, and I just write and whatever. So that's kind of how that goes. Inspiration.
Wow. Okay. Because I would say that for poetry, for me, the same, like we were talking before, like there's this feeling, and then there's this concept, and then I'm writing, and none of it looks like anything.
Really? You did tell me this before. You said that to me.
None of it looks like anything. And I've learned to just trust the process. Earlier, I used to get frustrated. Like it's not forming yet. It's not forming yet. Sometimes I would put it down. Sometimes I would be up all night, writing. Then all of a sudden it would start to take shape and start to have a body and then start to flow and then, complete itself. But it would just be a brainstorm, just kind of
out. I remember you telling me that you were talking about your process to me, and you said something, and I was like, what do you mean? Because you were like, it just doesn't make sense right now. I don't really know. You were like, I just have to wait for it to form. And I'm like, but that is interesting how it's the same, like how different artists come at things. Like some people write before the beat. Kaya, do you need the beat first and then you write, or like how does that work with music?
I definitely need the beat first. I can come up with a melody without a beat, but I would prefer to have a beat to kind of go off of. And then typically what I do to kind of help me, because I get beats off of YouTube as of right now. So I'll use the title of whatever the beat is called, and I'll try to go off of that to give me a theme of the song to kind of help.
Do you ever come in with a feeling that you want to express and then you try to find a title that kind of matches that, or do you just find a title and then you kind of like create something after that?
Yeah, I find a concept first.
Okay.
Create after that. Yeah.
Do you find yourself able to go through? Do you write all in one setting, or do you come back to?
Absolutely not.
Do you have a lot of?
I've never written
songs that haven't been completed.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, we gotta bring you to completion on something.
Completion. That's so interesting, and then that just I don't know.
I think y'all know I'm like a bit of a perfectionist, so my process is always typically more complicated than anybody else's would be. And
I think artists are like that too, though.
Yeah, it just.
But your letting go phase, you just got to let go a little bit more.
Huh?
You just got to let go a little bit more.
Are you critiquing yourself as you're going through it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably the part.
That's why stuff be funny. Yeah, that's why stuff takes forever.
But it's so go ahead.
It's no. Geez.
I was gonna say your freestyle that you posted was so amazing, and it wasn't a complete song, but it was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know, and I think I need to just try to do that more, because that one I wasn't as like, okay, let me work line by line, think about it. I was just like, no. But that one I did. I was going through some beats, and I found a beat, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And the name of the song, the beat was Conversations, so that's why I love these conversations. And then I just kind of went from there. But yeah,
well, you need to do that more often. That was great.
You're a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that explicitly here? I don't know if we said singer-songwriter.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Singer-songwriter. I would say more singer than songwriter though, because I wouldn't mind singing songs other people write for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I would get more done if somebody like
That's a good point.
the process. I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I feel like the song would feel more authentic if I wrote it, but I know people can write faster than me, so I have no problem at all singing.
All right, songwriters, hit her up.
Okay, wait a minute. She's a dancer too, though.
Oh yeah, I can dance.
So let's have a flashback moment real quick. Barbados, 2021.
On
the when we all learned. Is Kira still here? When we all
that's right.
She's
what was
I'm crying when I look back at those videos. I'm really like I choreographed the dance. I'm like, Anna, 1, 2. I cannot.
Listen, we practiced that dance for a good 30, 40 minutes so that we could be prepared for the the catamaran weekend. So when the song played, we could all be in step. But yeah, rhythmically, yeah, Kaya's on point. Yeah. Let's see, what does Ashana say?
Acting.
It was like an opportunity to behave in ways that weren't always acceptable outside of acting. An outlet, absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that. I've heard songwriters say that they like to write songs and they like to write on other people's. Janae said that. She's like, I like to do features because I can say things and act in ways that I probably wouldn't. Like when you're invited into someone else's artistry space, you know, does that get, and that's kind of what acting is.
That one verse on that one song of hers.
That's the one she was talking about. That's the one, the Eat Like Groceries. That's exactly the song she was talking about. She said she would never say that on her own song, but she was on someone else's and was like,
back to the creative process.
Hey, yeah, I guess.
Hey, Auntie.
Hey, Cherry.
Hey. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just made me think,
No, go ahead. I'm listening. What were you saying? Going with that?
I was just gonna say, you guys are just making me think about how I guess my creative processes are more like quick, but just what's the word? Like I just get emotion out through them. Like when I do a painting, like I can do it in 15 to an hour, and people are like, you did that in 1 hour. Like I just go and I get it done, and I just move on to the next thing. Like it's not really like I don't know.
Process.
It's not a process.
Well, I think that makes sense for the way you move in general. You know what I mean? And no, and I don't mean that wasn't a.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know what y'all.
Yeah, you what'd you say?
I never know what y'all like.
Not her saying that with all the shade she be throwing.
We never know with each other, baby.
We always have to make sure, are you throwing shade or are you just talking?
I was talking. So no, seriously, like I think that makes a lot of sense because you like to compress time, maximize energy within a situation, and you're on to the next thing anyway. That's true.
I think
Kaya is a little bit more, there's a lot of thought that goes into a thing. There's sometimes the apprehension she has that maybe has 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. And then I'm over here wanting to feel it all. You know
that makes so much sense. That's our personalities. Those are how we approach art. That's so crazy.
Art.
Yeah. Like you really, the process is you.
It is you. There it is.
No, I'm saying your process is like you. The process part is actually you. Like you.
It's each of us. That's what I meant. Yeah, we're agreeing.
I'm not talking about you specifically.
We're not talking about me. That ain't
saying you.
The breakdown I gave reflects our personality.
Each of us, yes. But I was saying the process is you because I don't really have a process.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I want to feel it.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I do want to touch on this real quick about commissioned pieces and freeform. So we talked about the creative process, and we're just in the freedom of, doing what we want to do and flowing with that without any expectations. When it's a commissioned piece, I remember our first commissioned piece, actually was for, wait, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think it was for the Arts Council. They were moving from a smaller space. Arts Council of Beaufort was moving from a smaller space to the bigger area in Beaufort, and they were having their grand opening. And so they commissioned me to write a piece. And I was like, so this is grand opening. And I said, I just want you guys to trust me and give me full liberty to just do what I need to do. I don't want you to think it's going to look a certain way or sound a certain way. I just have to really just come into it and feel what's the underlying energies of this artistic space, and then just roll with that. I didn't want to sound like I was talking about a grand opening. I didn't want it to be so cliche or scripted or whatever. I just wanted to be whatever it was going to be. And that worked. That worked. So it was the same thing though. It was like all of these things coming on the paper. I was like, none of this looks like anything right now. So hour 3, I'm still just blah, 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 and then whoop, one word took it into a sentence, and then it just another stanza, and then it just flowed into something that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I remember a part of that piece that talks about the women coming in with the baskets on their heads and their hips dip coming into the new art space. And I remember the whole, even the acting out or the demonstrating the performance art of the piece too. And as a matter of fact, Uncle played the guitar behind me for that as well. Robert. Yeah. So, hold on, let me see. We have a comment here from my auntie, Jamesetta. And she says, I know why y'all don't want to read it. Wendy told me to tell you he wrote a song for Mommy for her funeral from Habakkuk. Am I saying that right?
Habakkuk.
Wow.
That is sweet. But of course.
And that is exactly how he always, if people are just coming in to join us, we are honoring my brother, their uncle, the nephew, the son of Joetta Spencer, the friend of many here, Robert Spencer, who transitioned in 2017, who was an artist extraordinary, a beautiful, just human being in general. We're talking about creatives here, but if we were to have a podcast about the impeccability of his soul, would be a whole nother piece. But so everyone showed up to honor him.
To talk about him throughout. So
yes.
Yeah. Grandma has a comment actually.
Maya, you've had some commission pieces, right? In painting?
No.
Girl,
no?
Did you put in?
Oh, no. I never had any.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine.
Mom, Grandma, she says, I just wrote you about him backing you up on your spoken word performance. Oh, yes.
As far as I never had a commission piece, like nothing where someone asked me to paint something specific and they paid me for it. But I did sell a piece. It was just like there was an open call for artists, and it was mixed media. Actually, that's where I do want to talk about that because it opened my eyes. Her name, but yeah, she invited me to do this, and I'm seeing her face, Cherie Rich now, and she invited me to make a piece of art on a 6x7 for charity. And so we were going to do like an exhibit and sell it for charity. But I went over to her house and I saw hers, and she made like 25 of them at this point, and they were all so different, but they were 3D. They were multimedia art. So I'd only thought of art as paint. And then I'm like, oh, I can grab some twigs and some mirrors and I can literally, I started the canvas was no longer just a a flat surface for me. I'm like, that is what really, really, like, I actually like owe her so much for showing me that.
Yeah.
Because now there's literally no limits when you can add more than paint. And I'm not like a drawer, so I'm not good at drawing. So that paint was kind of limiting. So now I'm like, I could just literally just create things with things or whatever. And then recently with Arian,
you've really like really gotten into that, really just immerse yourself in the multimedia, mixed media.
And then we have Arian King Comer, who we went out to show us indigo art. And it is, again, it's not paint, it's there's a whole process of wax stamps and dyeing, and it, like, I just love it so much that there's so much you can do with art, and just the different avenues, and how different people feel called to do different things. And it's just so beautiful, and it makes you feel something. That's the part about art, which we were going to talk about, is how it invokes feeling, and it invokes thought, and it invokes, it's just very, very beautiful.
When you said that about the indigo dyeing, it reminded me of when my undergrad professor, Jacqueline Benton, first started her program of she had a class, it was the Gullah Studies class, and she took us all to St. Helena Island. It was through her that I got, hip to St. Helena Island. But we ended up working with sweetgrass basket maker. And so we had, and they don't call it weaving. They call it something else. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm sitting there making a sweetgrass basket, and it was so meditative. I could have sat there all day long with the half spoon, moving the sweetgrass and the other element into it. It transports you and makes you it's internally still. There's a lot of internal stillness you get in that space as well.
Of art in general, I love that.
Yes.
I love that about it so much.
Okay. Auntie says, Habakkuk 20:20, the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. Wow. And I just talked about the silence, like inner silence. So that was for her.
And I feel like that is that speaks to art and the creative process,
Yes. Because you have to be in a not just a still space, but in a receiving space.
Open. I was gonna say open. Yeah.
Space to listen, to be genuine in your listening, to be able to do something that's authentic, that connects to the people, that represents yourself and the people, that represents something bigger than yourself and the people.
And you know what's beautiful about creativity and art, and I think about this all the time, as many songs have been written and as many poems have been made, there's still, like, you'll never hear the same song. Like, there's only so many words in our vocabulary. There's only so many colors.
Differ with that.
Well, I'm saying, there's only so many, like, love, like, you would think.
Music that I think is getting played. But I'm not gonna listen. I don't know how many more times we can hear about the rims on your car and the holes you got. And
nobody's talking about rims no more. No one talking about rims anymore. I'm just saying.
What are they talking about? It's a remix of the same stuff. I'm just saying.
But we should talk about that, since we're talking about what art invokes and things like that. It's now that you bring that up, we do need to talk about, what does that type of music make you feel like?
Let's get into it.
So
that type of music make me, or just in general?
I'm asking you, but because do you want to talk about the money bag moment?
What happened? Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it.
So I used to listen to a lot of rap music. And then I stopped listening to rap music for real, but I liked Moneybagg Yo a lot. Like, something about Moneybagg Yo and Young Dolph. But this was like during my pregnancy, I really stopped listening to rap music, but those are my two. I mean, I'm still gonna, I haven't listened to them in a long time, but I played, my son was in his crib and I played a rap. Me and my mom were playing music on the big speaker, and I played Moneybagg Yo, See What I'm Saying.
Wait, at night. No, go ahead.
And she was just like,
clear this up too, because I got to add some balance to this. I don't want to make it sound like I don't listen to rap music, because
no, but I'm getting to the point of like what actually is behind it, you know, because it made me think about that. You know, she was like, oh, because mom's sensitive to feeling the energy of things. I'm not. So she was like, this feels really dark and heavy, and like you're inviting things in that you probably don't want. And I was like, girl, like he ain't saying nothing but like, see what I'm saying? Like I said, look and listen to the lyrics though. She said, no, there's an undercurrent feeling that this is invoking. And I was like, but I just like how he sounds. And it opened my eyes, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna think about how he actually lives his life. What is he actually doing? Okay, he is, so, you know, he's doing certain things that would probably reflect in the vibration of his music, even though what he's saying isn't that bad.
But the vibration,
my mom, yeah, I trust you in that, and I haven't listened to him since. I don't listen to it, and I can feel it now. I just want to talk on this real quick before we go, just like before we move on, like the way that music can influence you and art can influence you. So for the past year, I've been super conscious about what I listen to, the words that are being said, blah, blah, blah. Then I start listening to this artist called Ray. She's amazing, but she has this song where she talks about her body insecurities, which I think is great that she made a song about that, because she was expressing herself and she's very honest. And it wasn't my favorite on the album, but it played a couple times. And then 2 weeks later, I go to my mom and I'm like, yeah, I don't like these wrinkles on my forehead. Like, I think I'm going to get some filler and whatever. And I've never, ever, ever had a thought about it. And she was like, what? And then I listened to the song again. I said, oh my God, I never had thoughts about this until I've been listening to this song. And now I'm looking like, you think it's not connected. And I stopped listening to it and I don't think about it anymore. So you just have to be careful about what art you're consuming.
And because, like we were talking earlier, that when we get into this creative spaces, we're very open, we're receiving, and we should talk, like, what are we receiving? What vibrations are we, flowing through, and then, giving out? And what's the intent in what we are creating?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not any different from a conversation with somebody. It's not any different from a relationship with somebody. A person's music embodies their own intent. And so where are they? What state of mind are they in? And just feel it. Just feel it. It'll tell you what it is. You'll just feel it. But we are extremely sensitive to each other's feelings and states of minds. And so when you have a song that blows up and you have, countless people listening to this jam and all internalizing this music, and then all starting to align with the intent of that music, and then that intent spreads, good or bad, because we can do this another way. There's a positive spin on this too. But we just got to be intentional and aware of those things. And then what the music industry is pushing as well.
And why they might be pushing that.
Exactly. So
we'll talk about that in a whole other episode, please, because I just thought about a few people.
Huh?
I said we didn't listen. We'll just talk about that another time, because there's a lot that's important, I think, to talk about for real.
No, for real. I'm glad that you segued there, because we needed to just add that piece in.
But even with a
little bit more conscious about what you are receiving and taking in.
But even think about the movie Sinners. Like, that's another form of art that really made people think. There's art that you look at, like it's a way to communicate and a way to invoke feeling. And it's a very powerful thing. And like you were saying, to be conscious of what you're putting out and what you're taking in.
Now, this segues into what the intent of the artist has and the interpretation of the viewer or the receiver of that art. Remember, are we there yet or no? We need to talk about something. Yeah, okay.
let's kind of speed through this, because we got to paint.
Reel it back. We can reel it back. But I thought that was a natural segue.
It was a natural segue. We don't gotta.
We're not. We're artists.
Yes, Kaya.
What?
Yes, ma'am. I said we don't got it, and she got straight face stared at me.
I've been straight face for a little minute, but I do like to go in order.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because we're talking about the intent of the artist,
okay,
and the interpretation that someone, you go into an art gallery and you're looking at, visual art, paintings, whatever, sculptures, and you can never really know
what the person,
even if there's a description, right? Do you really know what the intent was for this artist? And what you take away from it is 100% about your filtering through your own lens and
You're filtering through your own. Yeah. Yeah.
Always, always, always,
Which is why some people will see a piece of art and be like, wow, I paid $3,000 for that. And someone would see it and be like, I'll pass, But I think for music, it's a little bit more obvious to tell what the artist's intent is, but your interpretation can be very different of it. Do you think so?
It depends. Sometimes I've seen some things and I'm like, I don't understand. And it just doesn't speak to me.
So there's no intent. The intent is because these big people are paying them to filter the minds of our young people.
I don't quite. So if I'm using symbols to represent a certain intent, if somebody's using symbols to represent a certain intent and those symbols don't connect to me, or I don't have a reference or context for them, I'm not going to quite get it. You know what I'm saying? Based on, their cultural reference or their personal worldview or whatever that may be, it might not touch me the same. There's a whole historical artwork out there that I'm just like, yeah, none of that means anything.
Interesting.
So I just think, it really is about the context of people's proximity to the culture and understanding of
That's true. That's true.
Well, yeah. And then also, even when you are familiar with that person's, there's some understanding or what have you, or some commonality there, it's still up to interpretation at the end of the day, at the end of the day. What do you think?
I agree. Like how, they were saying that. What do you think, Kaya?
No, same. I agree.
Now, songs, is that, because I think those are.
Well, to your point, just wrote, like, they said that, like, the Grammy, whatever, how Beyonce never won Grammy of the Year or whatever. But, her music was from a point where we're listening to it, like Lemonade, we're like, as a Black woman, you really get it. And you're like, wow. But they said it took her singing country music, something that they could actually identify with, to actually get the art. So, do you know what I'm saying? So I can see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And then even with that song about the body insecurities, I never had any. So listening to that song might give it to me. But if I did, that song might have been more liberating. Do you know what I'm saying? If I did and I'm listening to the song about it, it may.
So if I have body insecurities, fix it, go get something, I'm liberated.
No, not fix it. Her song wasn't saying, she actually said, she was saying, she was saying how she looks in the mirror and wants to, and she wants to love her. Like, I'm just saying it might be more empowering to feel seen and to know I'm not alone. Like, that might have been how I took it, instead of creating something that was never there for me.
So let's talk about that, because I didn't think that when you first said. So the message was her just talking through the thoughts she has about observing and looking at herself.
Yeah.
But it was the feeling behind the thoughts that is what's connected to your subconscious. And then like, I need to fix this. I need to do this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I've never felt that before. So I started to feel it. But if you're feeling, you feel seen. But they say don't listen to Summer Walker. You might end up being a fourth baby mama. And I don't anymore. Like, you just gotta.
And you know what? I'm just saying, I don't like listen to her music. I don't have her on a playlist. I don't follow her. But I actually like SZA. There's something about her that seems
she's great, but don't listen to certain songs.
Very pure. Huh?
I said she's great, but you can't listen to certain songs.
I don't disagree with you, because I really don't know, but I feel like something is very genuine with her.
I was talking about Summer Walker. Did you pivot to SZA, or did you think I was talking about SZA? SZA's not a baby mom. SZA has no kids. I was talking about
showing my age right now.
I'm like not thinking they're the same person. But
I don't even know, what is Summer Walker even sing? What is she saying?
But I don't know. I feel like music with me, I don't have to be. I mean, I know you guys say like, you should, be aware of the type of music that you listen to. Da 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 da. But
I don't know if you want to go here.
I don't know if you want to go here right now.
No.
Because even like Tink, she is my favorite. She's my favorite artist. She's my favorite artist. But Tink, all her music is.
How often do you listen to that?
All her music is what though? But
too often now.
Okay,
but a lot of her music is like like not heartbroken, but just like if these
not having healthy relationships with
not
men.
having healthy
and kind of F these dudes, and I don't give
kinda,
a
yeah. But I don't necessarily have to be going. First of all, can we like?
And I wasn't even looking at Maya right here. I was just like,
no, but I'm saying even if that's not what's currently going on, like the situation doesn't have to be what's currently going on, but I'm not receiving the songs that way. I just like the way she sounds. I like the way she sings it. When I'm okay, so when I
you don't have to receive it, but it's definitely reflected in your relationships.
First,
yeah, I mean,
no, but that's okay. She was just one example, but I'm just saying when I listen to songs, but you know how some people, okay, they're sad, they like to listen to sad music, or they're happy, they like to listen to happy music. I don't go into listening music as I'm attaching my feelings to this song.
You don't have to. That's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't doing that either.
Here, I want to keep
going. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not attaching my feelings. I'm not going into, I never listen to music with that intention that I want to feel the way this song is making me. No, some people do.
Some people do. Yeah.
Outside of that.
When I just have a love for music, I don't care what they're talking about. I'm not going to say I don't care what they're talking about, but just like if it's a good song, if I like how it makes me feel, I like how it makes me feel. I don't have to relate to it at all, though.
No.
Like, because even with rap music, and I know a whole bunch of rap, but like I do like listening to rap music. I do like listening to some sad songs. I like listening to songs that talk about this, talk about that, but that doesn't necessarily mean I relate.
So Kaya,
I care.
So Kaya, you know I have a diverse listening. Like the stuff I listen to all the time is a certain way. But tell me that I won't be like, what Glorilla?
Yeah, we do. We turn, yeah.
I listen, but I also have a certain level of awareness.
I do too. Why y'all trying to make it seem like that's what I'm saying?
I'm saying you don't. I'm just saying that
I got a level of awareness
conscious,
too.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't have it.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That's all I've been trying to say. Is that
so here's the thing
where they can subconsciously affect.
I would like for you to examine, right? Because I do think that a lot of I was telling you this, Maya. And my mom made a comment, and I want to get to that. I want to make this comment real quick before we get to hers, is that there was a point where I was listening to y'all's music and I was like, y'all, this is sad. The vibration of everything was just dragging and sad, depressed, the tone, the rhythm of it. I was like, y'all are going through something collectively. Like, this is kind of sad. We could pull up some of our songs, and even if the topic wasn't the best, the tempo was like, we were always just kind of live and in color and joyful, even in our more unfortunate, experiences.
We have different artists.
So, but what I'm saying is that, what is it? Art imitates life, or does life imitate life?
Yeah.
There's a shared experience here. And I think that you guys are communicating on a level that the generation itself may be suffering from a depressed state of mind. And that's what the music is. Y'all relate, y'all like it. And it's like a feedback loop. And it made me kind of concerned.
But you're right. You're right.
I don't know. I guess I feel like I genuinely do have a wide variety range of music.
Yeah, I agree.
So yes, I like to listen to rap, but do I listen to it all the time? No.
Well, it's not. I don't think we're talking. It's not genre based. It's vibration based. So there's uplifting rap and there's not. There's uplifting R&B and there's not. Right. And it's not like what they're talking about, because there's people that are talking about sad stuff, but the music itself doesn't have a subconscious wave. Like there's actually waves in music that carry specific vibrations.
Right.
It doesn't have that. Or people that could be talking about good stuff, but like that Moneybagg Yo song, he wasn't talking about nothing bad, but the actual underlying vibration that actually does affect you subconsciously is in it. So it's not like country's good. And because there's people that make, you would think Jhené Aiko was fine, but for a while her music was dragging, but now she adds healing bowls to it. Like, it's just a little different. I hope that makes sense.
I guess at the end of the day, anything that you're consuming, whether it be food, whether it be music, whether it be theater and movies, you're going to walk away. You want to pay attention to how you feel as you are listening to that. Okay.
Grandma.
So grandma says, getting to the intent of songs. When I think of Robert's songs, I could say a lot of his songs I could relate to because of things that he was going through. What do y'all think? Absolutely.
Yeah. And
but also, so I know the special relationship that my mom and my brother had. I remember her saying that he would tell her like everything. He would talk to her about relationship stuff. He would talk to her about manhood stuff. He would talk to her about quirky little things. So she knew a lot of the personal, comings and goings and zigzagging in his life. And he would write about that. So I think she may know more than anyone else
the story behind
story in his catalog. Absolutely.
But I think he's a perfect example of not always singing about things that make you happy, but the underlying vibration was uplifting.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even his song that was racy, like it doesn't have a racy feeling. It's just the lyrics that are talking about something kind of inappropriate, but it doesn't feel,
Good point. Yeah. Makes sense. So what we got? Oh, we have to paint.
Yeah, and what did you say in one of you said there will be an art demonstration. That's
no,
I just said it wrong.
I'm just saying that gives people high hopes.
What we're doing, and
I did say I was a painter, but not like a portrait painter. I just want to.
So what are we doing? We have 10 minutes left, and we're gonna rock out the last of these minutes with you guys have seen
we can still talk about whatever we have left while we paint.
Yeah, we can.
So introduce what we're doing, somebody.
So we're playing a game that a lot of people play. I feel like it's a familiar game. So
was it on like social media?
Yeah, I've seen it. So you are with however many people. It has to be at least 2 people. You have a canvas, you have to paint, and you have to paint the other person's face. And typically, they all of them end in laughter, unless you are. You can.
Y'all gonna be laughing at mine.
So that's what we're about to do. Of course, the other person isn't supposed to see what you're painting. It's a surprise, but you give each other, and we're trying our best. I'm gonna try my best.
But it just are flying right now.
It may look
okay. So we selected ahead of time who was going to paint who.
So we're not gonna tell them. We shouldn't tell.
Yeah, we can tell them.
Why? We can
Why
tell
not?
them after we show. Why not?
Okay, whatever.
Surprise.
I want to do it. It's fine.
Or make people guess.
I really don't care. I don't feel that strongly about it. So if you do
that,
3 of us. I mean, it could only go 50-50, but.
Not who y'all thinking. Listen, my disclaimer right now is that
why would you do that?
What happened?
I didn't know what was going on.
What happened? I want to know what happened. The people want to know.
You're gonna have to watch the video.
I'm looking at the video. We can't see.
No, you're gonna have to watch it back.
I'm saying you can't.
Mom was trying to open this, and she
didn't want to say what happened. Basically,
right?
Oh no, I don't care.
Like she squeezed it instead of because you know how they be having that cap on the top.
What? Oh.
That all of Oh no, yeah. But Mom, you saw that.
No, I didn't. I was saying I did it.
But why were you doing that?
Because I thought it was open.
Okay. We need to get to something. You know what I mean? Well, I can't do anything, so that's okay.
They're new to this, y'all. It's okay.
So y'all can already tell how my little piece is about to turn out.
But yeah, I think we should keep talking while we go.
Be trying to be really gracious when my children be trying to, buck up.
The Kaya Tester gangster too much.
I really do. I think people have seen this many times on here. I'm just really gracious. I let them have it because at the end of the day, they know.
Kaya, I think Kaya tested your gangster a little too much.
Well, right here. Yeah. That was a bit much.
I thought so too, but I was like,
Off the flex. She's like, where'd you do that? What are you doing? We don't be quiet.
I thought that. I was like, ooh,
Right.
not Mike.
Well, I don't think
Not Mike. So yeah, we're gonna paint each other's faces, and I think what's the topic that we didn't get to, so we can have some audio going here.
Okay, what we didn't get to was
I got 3 brushes. These are my 3 brushes.
mistakes, courage, vulnerability, being hypocritical of your creativity.
So a lot that we didn't get to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like
go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like we're probably gonna have different perspectives on this. But personally, I'm not really nervous to share my art, but probably because my process is so fast, I don't have like a, like it really is just like a, it's not like it's a quick release. So I quickly share it and quickly move on, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I'm being vulnerable by sharing my art, or maybe I just don't mind being vulnerable.
Really healthy detachment too in the whole process too. Like you let it flow and then you release it.
Exactly. And then I don't feel it again. That's not true. Okay, well, I brought some colors that I thought were going to turn into brown, and they're not. So,
Okay, I feel like
my person's skin color may not be brown. But yeah, so what do you think about that, Mom?
You said, what do I think about being vulnerable and
being vulnerable and showing your art, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that once I've completed the piece, I'm pretty confident. Like I know it's honestly, I know it's fire. So
were you always like that? Did you always have that type of confidence?
Absolutely.
Okay. What about you, Kaya? Like vulnerability and sharing your art. I know you have like a different perspective.
Yeah, I feel like it's a vulnerability thing for me because.
So you shy away from that vulnerability.
Boy, this is the part.
Yeah, I shy away from it. I feel like because I'm just so critical, so I always feel like it can be better. It may sound perfectly fine. I just still feel like it still sound better. It still sound better. It still sound better.
So for you, it's about the quality, not about exactly what you're sharing. You're not like, oh, I don't really want people to know that I feel these things, but it's more just like the quality of it. And is that because you identify more as a singer than a songwriter?
True. Yeah, I do identify more as a singer. Yeah. But then also, I do feel like as well. Yeah, I don't feel that I'm as complex as a songwriter as I would like to be because I feel like my lyrics sometimes can just be very not simple, but like, yeah, simple.
Not like true to like a deep experience. Is that what you're saying?
No, not true to a deep experience, but I feel like the way that in which I'm saying certain things, like there's no like, oh, anybody could have came up with that. That's how I be feeling sometimes. But that's why I feel like I just need to keep working on it so I can, develop that develop that
What are you laughing at?
I told y'all my portrait skills are the same as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I'm wanting to do the person who I'm painting some
justice. Like I promise I love you. And I think you're beautiful. So Kaya, your vulnerability is just sharing, like it's about the product, not necessarily about bearing your feeling. Like you don't really care about how your feelings are perceived. It's just about the quality of your work.
More so, yeah. But I really feel like majority of, well, I haven't shared much, but I don't write too many songs feeling
Vulnerable.
based. Yeah. Because some people just.
Okay, I know what I mean.
What about you, Mom? Do you feel like you view the vulnerability as like the actual quality of the art, or what you're like more about? Like, are you more reserved about feeling, like sharing your actual feelings and thoughts about things?
I think it's much easier for me to share my art. Is that what you're asking?
No.
I thought you were asking, is it easier for me to share feelings?
I said, so in talking about vulnerability, because we just identified with Kaya that like I was thinking vulnerability meaning like you don't want to share because it's like you're sharing your emotional journey or your feelings or your thoughts, but she's talking about she doesn't like, it's about the quality of her work that she actually feels like is the vulnerability part and what she critiques.
Finger, yeah.
Right. So what do you think for you? Are you more concerned, like, are you more worried about the quality or just bearing your heart out? Which part is more?
Oh no. I'm gonna have to say neither with spoken word. No. Just just because I've done it and performed in a lot of places. And I know if what I have written isn't finished, polished, if it doesn't have the quality that it should have. I know that. So I'm not going to bring anything to a stage or performance if it's not.
So how do you know when you're done? How do you know when it is finished and polished?
You just have a feeling. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of how it comes to me too. There's just a point where you stop. I always have a point where I think I'm finished, and then there's a lot more, and then I know that I'm finished. But I know what that think I'm finished part means. Listen, don't feel bad about what you're doing, because over here, like, please don't feel bad about what you got.
Aren't you painting me? You can't even see me.
I thought we weren't saying who we were painting.
Oh.
Well,
but what you over there painting? You can't even see me though. I've been off the camera. So what you looking at?
I mean, I don't know. You're my sister. I kind of know what you look like.
I mean, but you know, but still.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I know you have eyes and a lips and a mouth. That's all I know how to do. Like, it's not gonna look like you, babe.
I need a black.
It's not gonna look like
because
you.
I don't. Well, give me purple or something.
Color.
Oh dang! I just had a way that I probably could have did this a lot better. All right, y'all. We're doing this differently, but bear with me.
You know what I do like about the creative process with spoken word and with writing? That, I'll write a few stanzas and I'm, thinking through the piece, and there are some connecting parts and, from pieces that bridge certain concepts. And so I'll look back at it and see some additional stuff that I didn't even intend to do. And I'm like, oh, that was dope. But it wasn't in my consciousness at the time, definitely not in my awareness that that's what I was doing. So I love that part about it too. And I'll notice it, like, it could be months later. I'll go back through a piece and I'm reading it because I'm either going to perform it or I want to, take a look at it. And I'm like, oh, snap.
This was hot stuff.
Yeah.
See what I did there? That's pretty cool.
I'm trying this.
So what's y'all's favorite part about creating?
When it's done.
Okay.
Satisfaction when I'm like, it's done. It's good.
Well, I haven't felt that enough times for that to be it for me, but it would for me, especially because I haven't felt this way too many times either. But I guess it would be when I start, because I'm actually there's typically like gaps in between those moments. What's so funny, girl? There's gaps in between those moments, so I feel like the happiest part for me is actually be like, oh my gosh, like
Are you laughing at what you're doing? I hope so, because what I'm doing.
Honestly, I had an idea that looks better than what I thought. Like, honestly, I'm interested in hearing what Kaya's saying. Let's stick there.
Yeah, just because the process.
Did you see mine? Are you?
Wait. You're not supposed to be.
It was the back. I think somebody's intentionally being shady.
What?
I let you slide on the smart thing already, but don't be trying to play me now.
Mom, I am not trying to play you.
You know I'm playing, right? See, this is
You guys, let's just keep talking, and we'll talk about the art when we're done.
We can talk about whatever we want to talk
We're
about.
not supposed to be looking at each other's art, though.
It just kind of happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, my favorite part of creating.
Okay, somebody needs some ears.
Huh?
Hmm?
What'd you say? Okay. My favorite part of creating. Mom, what is going on?
Huh?
Where's the marker?
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite part of creating is.
See the marker. Like, go. What's your favorite part? What's your
I
favorite
just don't understand.
What's your favorite part, girl?
I just want to do better because I love.
Oh, she's laughing at her painting.
the
I
person.
thought she was laughing at me. My favorite part of creating is really just my favorite is just moving the feeling through my body and then sharing it with people. I love the sharing part as well. My favorite part is sharing. And recently I started doing paintings. Like I'll be like the last one I did was to get rage out. So I made a playlist of songs that brought up rage in me. And I painted to it. But each song had a different feeling that I wanted to convey. And while I was painting the part that was about that feeling, I played that specific song. Anyways, I posted it on my story and I didn't say what it was about. And someone was like, this makes me feel rage. And I was like, wow, that's literally it. And so I just like sharing and I like the feeling moving through it and explaining to people. Huh?
Point we were making earlier about how things make you feel things.
And I feel like, especially because I was listening to music while I was doing it, wasn't just my feeling, it was also the feeling of the songs that I was inviting that into my creative space, you know?
Yeah.
So the feelings that the songs had.
Okay, we're over time.
Okay.
Well, we don't have to give each other a little bit longer. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to make like a darker.
I mean
I think artistically it's nice.
I think conceptually
I do need like 2 more minutes if that's okay.
Yeah, 2 more minutes. Mom, stop. Over here peeking. But look at me.
I'm trying to see, like, am I not doing enough? I was just trying to catch the essence of it all.
I just need your eye shape.
I forgot who had me. Well, now I know because Kaya over here talking about I need your eye shape. Oh, Mom, you're painting me and you're having these reactions.
You know, we flipped the coin.
I forgot. I really forgot. I was just so I'm focusing on my craft.
You know what?
Yeah.
Where do you buy brown canvases?
That's what we need. Yeah.
And non-bleached canvases, actually, because that's what this is. Because,
That's all right. I don't mind. I know that. Well, actually, I don't know. Let's see.
Okay, you know what? Okay, wait. Let me see.
Okay, well, if we're wrapping up, I'm ready when y'all are.
Okay, almost.
Okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, see, I be trying to pay attention to too much detail and it just ends up looking I'll be trying to get the details, but me trying to get the details, I should just try to keep it more simple.
I think my person will like theirs.
Actually, I mean, I'm not in terms of visual art, it's not my strong suit. It's not anywhere even approaching it. So I think that considered,
I guess we can show.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Are we revealing at the same time?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
why not?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so wait, Kaya, you did okay. I don't know if that looks like me. Maya. Oh, that's not bad.
My side profile.
It's the side profile.
And you painted the back and all.
But you did all
the
cute stuff.
I mean, that still doesn't look like me, but it's
but none of ours look like each other, so we could have and we knew they weren't going to.
Yeah.
No, but I think I got the bone structure.
Do I have a black eye? Like, why is one of my eyes looking like that?
No, because I was moving it up, but I have the eyelashes. I got the bone, the
Where's the eyelash? Oh, those are eyelashes. Okay. Yeah.
Just don't show it again.
So if we're being realistic, mine looks the most.
Kaya with that booty nose.
I didn't mean to make
and why are my ears like? You can't even see my ears. She has them all out.
No. You're right.
And I all failed on realism, so now we just have to look at the art itself.
Well, see, I think you have the advantage in that you made
flowers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You made yours. You made yours beautiful.
I'm green. Yeah.
Mine is actually a painter. You made yours beautiful outside of the fact that.
Right, and no, I'm not a drawer, so I painted. Yeah. I said, no, I'm not a drawer, so I painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Painted. None of us.
Wonderful.
Well, okay.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Thanks for sticking around and honoring Uncle Robert Spencer today. We are happy that you guys joined us on his birthday, family, friends, our loyal viewers. We do have some updates coming, changes coming, and we'll be sharing those. Do you want to share those now or just in a post later?
Share it in a post. Yeah.
We'll share it in a post later.
Yeah, we're going to be changing the frequency of our. We're changing the right here. We're changing the frequency of the live podcast because we really want to allow ourselves more time to engage our communities through other types of content. And because we have so many other things that are growing in our personal lives, we find ourselves struggling to keep up with the cycle and the live cycle and getting out the clips of the videos and then also doing some just organic engagement and we just want to upgrade all the way around in terms of equipment and everything else. So we need to take some time.
So we'll be doing these monthly,
yes,
lives monthly, and we'll eventually get back to bi-weekly. But we'll have other content in the meantime that expands off our episodes because, our previous episodes were really packed and we didn't get to spend a lot of time with them, a lot of time really talking about those things. And we just want to give our audience more. So we appreciate y'all for sticking around and being with us since the bottom. And we're just a rocket that keeps on going. Please don't look at me like
I was trying. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm After that painting, we have some repair in our relationship.
This is really hot mic. It's supposed to be just, raw, authentic, unscripted, and we let it flow. So thank you again. Thank you for joining us to honor Robert Spencer, the brother, the son, the uncle, the nephew, the extraordinary person, extraordinary artist.
Yes, happy birthday, Uncle.
Happy birthday.
As usual, we will have these episodes.
Birthday. All right, we love you all, and we will see you again soon.
Yep, and as
social media streets.
Yep, and as usual, all of our Grandma wants to play one of Uncle's songs before we go. That's a great idea.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Mom, you staying up late.
Right.
This is past her bedtime. We love that.
Did you play one of Robert's songs before you go? Yes, we will.
And we will post, while you do that, I'm gonna post his
She said while you do that.
While I do what?
Play the song.
Play the song.
What song are we playing? I'm gonna have to get
always, but we could play the song he wrote for Grandma. What song do you want to hear?
I'm gonna have to get my other phone. Can you get my other phone?
And I'm gonna show his he has one album on Apple Music. This is it, right? Whoa. Jeez Louise. Anyways, this is kind of what it looks like. If you search Rob Spencer, ROB space Spencer, SPENCER, and the album is called Memories Fall.
What do
that
we
on music?
Sorry.
And that was his first album when he was a teenager. He's made many more, but they're physical copies. Some of his music is on YouTube. You can just type Rob Spencer, Andre Minor. Did he have any other names that his music might be found under? I think it's just Rob Spencer and Andre Minor. Yeah. And so we're picking a song. Did you need help picking a song, Mom?
Did you have the song that you guys listened to today? Did you have it on your phone?
Yeah.
You don't want to play that one?
It was just about the subject.
Okay, so no.
You don't want to play it?
We can.
Yeah, play that one. I love that song.
Okay.
You can access it easier than I can because
I have it right here. Yeah. Can you guys hear it? So this is the last song that he recorded before he passed away.
No, we can't really hear it. No. Go back the other way.
I wash my hands with the soap, back the blood, go down the drain. What did I just do? I did it for you. Girl, I did it for you. Girl. I put the clip back in the way, stuck it up the bag of money. I should hurry you. Be needed soon. Girl.
The sound is
in and out.
Dang. Can you hear it?
We can hear it.
Maybe. If you can't hear it good, let me know. Because we can just...
LaRue. Grandma said play Mr. LaRue.
That's not on our phones. Mr. LaRue is on a CD that we don't have access to. But that song that I was just playing, he never released it. But Mr. LaRue is a great song, but it's just not
yeah.
Might just have to play one off of his
just
first
go
album.
to YouTube.
Or YouTube, yeah.
But you guys couldn't hear it, right?
Oh, I guess
I'll try. Let me do it on mine because
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll actually do it right.
Mr. LaRue might be on YouTube, but I don't think it is. Actually, if you Google Mr. LaRue, it might show up on some other type of streaming platform.
Okay, I'm gonna go to his playlist.
Okay.
All right. So we have wishful thinking, inspiration, love songs. Favorite distraction, those are live. LaRue is on here.
Okay, cool. We could play Mr. LaRue.
No, this is Beautiful Beside Me.
How'd you get that from that?
That's not gonna count.
I can hear it good, but whatever it is, I can hear it good. The audio is good.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think this is here.
That's not Mr. LaRue.
You can hear it still?
Yeah, but that's, yeah, I can hear it good. Dang it. Y'all.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
It's just really, really loud, but that's fine.
She was crying, and now I got a problem. I'm in trouble. She's coming to me. I have to tell you. It's hard to bring every time I call her on the phone, I to lift my hand. So I'll be bring me down.
hear that is.
So I turned around and what did I see but a man?
Oh man, what a man. In his head.
For context, I think Robert was 18, 19 there.
That's crazy.
He was 18, 19.
That's crazy. Like, that's actually crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now 18, 19-year-olds are talking about.
Okay.
They're talking about what the helly, and I'm just like, what the helly? Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is a good one too.
Okay, y'all. We could really sit here all night in remembrance of just a beautiful spirit, a beautiful someone who spent their life here in an incredible way, in a pure way. And as you can see, we are thoroughly and forever touched by his life and his love and his creativity. And so we just wanted to take a moment today and be in communion with all of those who have known and loved him and give him his due today on his birthday. Yes. So thank you for showing up. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Grandma.
Friends,
thank you, everybody,
cousins,
for joining,
everyone.
family.
We love y'all and we will see y'all soon.
Bye.
Peace.
Happy birthday, Uncle.
Happy birthday.